Hello everyone, I'm Priyanka. Welcome to the series of UiPath Orchestrator API using Orchestrator HTTP request activity. In the last video, we have seen that how we can create asset from Studio. Also, we have seen that how we can get all the asset details available on our orchestrator in the Studio with the help of Orchestrator HTTP request activity. In this video, we're going to see how we can create the queue in the orchestrator and how we can get the queue details from the orchestrator with the help of orchestrator API from the studio. But before moving ahead, we need to make sure that we have done all the configuration settings that I have shown you in my earlier video, which is a part 2 of the series. In that video, I have shown you how we can assign a role to particular user to access our orchestrator component. Because we need to provide some additional permissions to access our orchestrator component if we are using orchestrator HTTP request activity. You might aware that we can create a queue by logging to our UiPath orchestrator, right? But what if I can tell you we can also create the queue from Studio itself? Wondering, right? We can do that with the help of UiPath orchestrator HTTP request activity. So without any further delay, I'll tell you how we can create a queue from the studio itself. To do that, we will be accessing Orchestrator API with the help of Orchestrator HTTP request activity from the studio, which will provide us the access of UiPath Orchestrator component. So to access Orchestrator API, first we need an endpoint to call, right? So we'll see how we can get the endpoint to call an Orchestrator API to create a queue. So UiPath is providing a wonderful document in which we'll get the request call to create a queue. It will take post as HTTP method. This will be our relative endpoint. And I've already told you, as our orchestrator is connected with our robot, so we don't need any authorization and we don't need to provide any tenant name or folder ID, as it is fetching the respective details by itself. If you can see, this API call accept the post method because it is expecting some input, which is the name of queue, a description of a queue, a maximum number of retries, then accept automatically retry, and enforce unique reference. So these are the details we need to pass while calling this API. And at the end, this will allow us to create a queue. So let's go ahead and create a workflow in which we'll call this request API and we'll create a queue. So I have already created one process. So let's drag one sequence. And this sequence is for creating queue. So to call an API, we need to drag orchestrator HTTP request activity. In my previous video, I have explained about orchestrator HTTP request activity, and also I have explained what input it is taking and what output it is providing. So to call this API, we need to select a post method. So from this drop down, we'll select post method, and this will be our relative endpoint. And we need to provide in this section enclosed within double quotation. Let's click on OK. So we need to provide this body inside a JSON payload section. But if you can see here, this is the JSON format, which is a key value pair. But if you can see here, JSON payload is accepting the value in a string format. So we need to convert this format into a string format. So I'll tell you how we can do that by simply copying this into Notepad. So to convert the JSON data into the string format, first we need to remove this double quotation from the key of this JSON data. So let's do it. Then secondly, we have to replace this double quotation with a single quotation for every value which is present in the JSON data. So this is one value and this is the second value and so on. Please note that a integer type value and the boolean type value doesn't accept any quotation. So will not modify it. As the JSON payload is accepting the value in a string format, so it should be in a single line. So we'll remove the line breakage and make it in a single line. Now this data is converted into a string format, and now we'll copy this data into a JSON payload. But before pasting the data, we need to enclose the data into a double quotation. And we need to click on OK. So as we have provided the value, which is name equal to new queue, so the new queue will be created on our orchestrator with this description and with this maximum retry, which is 1. So in response, it will provide us the JSON response, which is the details of a queue that we're going to create and the status code. So status code is nothing but the HTTP status code. So let's create a variable for JSON response, say response. So this response will be in a JSON format. So to deserialize JSON, we need deserialize JSON activity to call. This activity will take the string input, which is the output of this orchestrator HTTP request activity, which is response, and it will return the JSON object. So we'll quickly create the JSON object, say queue data. And we can simply print the queue data with the help of WriteLine activity. .toString. So in this workflow, we are simply going to create a queue with name new queue, and we are simply printing the response. So let's go ahead and run this workflow. So our workflow ended successfully, and this is the output that we have got. So our queue has been created successfully with name new queue. So let's verify the same by going to our orchestrator. Let's go to the queue section. And here you can find the queue name, new queue, and the description that we have provided. So to make it more dynamic, we'll allow the user to enter the queue name, and with that queue name, we'll create the queue. To allow user to enter the queue name, we'll simply need input dialog. Let's drag it here, and we'll ask to enter the queue name. And we'll store the user entered result into a data item, let's say queue name. And we'll pass this queue name to our API call in this JSON payload. Now we have to update this hard-coded queue name with the variable that we have created just now. So we can do that inside a double quotation and by adding a queue name data item. Let's click on OK and we're good to go. So now it is asking me to enter the queue name. Let's say dummy queue and click OK. So you'll find here the queue name we have just provided to the input dialog. It has created the same queue in our orchestrator. So now we can go to the orchestrator and we can verify the same. If we can refresh, you'll able to see the queue name that we have just created. Now we have seen how we can create the queue from the studio with the help of orchestrator HTTP request activity. but we can also get the queue details that are available on our orchestrator by using orchestrator HTTP request activity. So let's go ahead and check how we can get the queue details. So similarly, to get the queue details, we'll need an endpoint to call. And with the help of this API, I'm going to get all the queue details available on our orchestrator. So this API accepts the HTTP method as a GET. This will be our endpoint. So as I already told you, we don't need to mention anything from this as our orchestrator is already connected with our robot. So let's go ahead and call this API through orchestrator HTTP request activity. Let me collapse this. So I'll drag one more sequence here. That will be for getting the queue details. Under this sequence, I'll drag orchestrator HTTP request activity. As you can see here, the method name will be a GET. And this will be our endpoint. So let's copy this endpoint and paste it inside double quotation. Click OK. So that's all we need to provide as an input to this activity to get the queue data. So JSON response is the output of this activity that will provide us the queue data in a JSON format. So to get the data, we'll create a variable, let's say response. It will also return a status code, but we are not going to generate any data item for it. So let's keep it blank as of now. So this output response will be in a JSON format. So to deserialize it, we need a deserialized JSON activity. So simply drag the deserialized JSON activity and provide the response as an input, which is the output of orchestrator HTTP request. So let's create a JSON object for this activity. Let's say queue details. And we can simply print with the help of WriteLine activity. So we need to print queue details dot toString. And let's run the workflow. Now it will again prompt me to create a queue. Now this time I'll enter, let's say test. And if we can see the output, we got all the queue data that available on our orchestrator. So the count is 3. So we have a total 3 queues available on our orchestrator, which is a new queue. The second is dummy queue, and third one is test that we have recently created. Also, if we want to fetch any particular detail like a name of a queue or maybe a description of a queue or max number of retries or maybe an ID, we can also do that. So let's try to fetch the name of the queue out of it. If you can see here, we have a multiple JSON object enclosed within the JSON array, which is value. And to access the name of the queue, first we need to access this value JSON array. So to do that, we'll be needing a for each loop. Let me drag a for each loop first. Then inside this, we'll be accessing our JSON object, which is queue details of value. Now we need to select the type argument as a JToken for this for each activity. Inside this for each, we can simply print a name of a queue with the help of WriteLine activity. To access the name, we can access the name key. So we'll be accessing with the help of item of double quotation and name dot toString. So this is how we can access the name of queue. So let's go ahead and see if we are getting the name, all the names of a queue available on our orchestrator or not. So this time I'll enter, let's say fourth queue. If we go to the end of the output, we'll be able to see all the name of a queue available on our orchestrator that we have just created, right? Also, we can verify the same by going to orchestrator and simply we can refresh and you'll be able to see the queue we have created. So that's all for today. In this video, we have seen that how we can create the queue. Also, we have seen that how we can get all the queue details that are available on our orchestrator. In the next video, we're going to see how we can create the queue item and how we can push that item to the specific queue. So till then, stay tuned with me. Happy learning. Thank you.